Welcome to Weekly Insights. I am with Peter Hobler with the X Factor, and we're going to focus today on how anger can work for you. Peter, how can anger work for you in divorce?
That's a great question. I wish I'd known the answer to that back when I was getting divorced. Hello, Keith. So, anger is so prevalent amongst divorce. And being a dad of divorce, I can think of so many instances when I was angry or when the ex was angry. But one incident in particular comes to mind. We had been able to work together, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years regarding the schedule. And officially, everything was 50-50, custody, physical schedule, everything. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, the ex starts refusing to talk about upcoming schedules and insists that we go to the schedule that's in our divorce decree, which, looking back, it just appalls me. But the schedule in our divorce decree said every other day. Our daughter was 3 to 4 years old, and in every other day schedule, back and forth, back and forth. There's no consistency, there's no stability. It was terrible. And I could see the effects on her. And I started getting very, very angry at her mom, at the ex. And I realized when I was reacting with anger, I was only making things worse, because every time I got angry, my daughter's mom would get just as angry or more angry back.
Mm-hmm.
So I started honing in on what it really was I wanted for my daughter. And that was for me to be the best parent I could, because I wanted to create an environment of divorce where she could thrive, even if the ex refused to work together to co-parent, which was exactly what was going on. So I realized, wow, instead of getting angry and getting in these arguments, I need to do what's best for our daughter. And we went back to court over custody. And during the discussions in custody, out in the hallway, we never actually went into court. Our attorneys started talking to us, started talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the ex was insisting that I hand over a portion of an education fund I had set up, established for our daughter. And it was all premarital assets. They were, I won't get into the details, but at first I was, again, livid that she had the audacity to insist I hand over half of these assets before she would even begin to discuss custody. It was very evident she was putting herself first, not our daughter. So I realized my anger was getting in the way. And I thought about, how can I shift that energy from my anger? And when I focused on my why, to create that environment of divorce where my daughter could thrive, it led me to realize, just go ahead and hand over that 50% of this education fund, because our daughter was more important than money, than the education fund, or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a few big breaths, rechanneled the energy from my anger. And that's the whole key, rechanneling that energy from your anger when you're focused on what it is you want to create. And very quickly, we established an every other week schedule, which we then followed for years, which worked out great and for the benefit of our daughter. So my challenge to you watching, my call to action for you today, is to think of one small way, something about the ex, something that he or she says or does that just triggers you in the moment. Think of how you can shift your perspective to rechannel that energy for the benefit of your kids. So you're creating more of an environment of divorce where your children are thriving. And I encourage you to do that within the next 3 days. And then please come back and post something wherever you're seeing this to let us know what you did.
I like that, Peter. And if I had been divorced, I would take you up on that.
Awesome.
Great call to action for those of you where it fits. Thank you so much, Peter. Look forward to seeing you next week for the next Weekly Insight.
Thank you, Keith. Likewise. See you next week, everybody.
Take care.